I'm sorry, mate. I was on a video call with the chick.
How'd that go?
It was good. It was that same chick, you know.
There's just music. Oh,
But can they hear it?
yeah, you.
Yo, 5 years.
I know.
You can totally hear us. Bro, like it's not even muffled. Like you can just straight up hear us.
Probably
Going live now.
I know.
So I did not. Oh yeah, it's true. He's using this for us.
You can split your channels, can you? So where you can isolate.
Yeah,
them
Max, I
together?
hear everything.
Oh, I can.
Damn, you got your whole ass pop collection behind you. That's crazy.
that's not all of it.
Well, I mean,
Little piece. I got a little piece behind me.
I can tell Codex. Hey, my looters, my Brian. I'm always in charge of chat. What you mean? I learned the French for a guy.
Hey, make sure you
He was in
Okay, no, we
CTR.
got it. Cool.
Like that, the toilet. Phew. Okay. I'm good.
I don't like that you can hear it. So where the never mind. I gotta go on Twitter. Oh yeah, guys.
Yo.
I'm ducking out early, by the way.
Already ducking.
I'm not leaving right now. I'm just ducking out early, like or something, because I got a long day.
On that note,
So ready.
so
What song is this?
what up, everybody? Welcome. This is High Score Girl. High Score Girl. That's a beautiful note to start the stream on. Thank everybody for joining LootCast episode number 4. This is going to be a stupendous episode, and I have a stupendous panel. Starting with, what up, Mono Pulse?
What up, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
Doing fantastic.
Tired.
Even Brian's like, let's
Same.
go.
Same, man. I'm wiped.
What up, Codex?
High school.
Hey, you know me. I'm just, wearing a shirt, eating some pizza.
For once in your life, you are.
For once.
Great.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that. What up, Jakin?
Oh, you know me, just not wearing a shirt, looking at pictures of pizza.
Man,
Yeah, living the dream.
looking like a snack. And Cynthia.
And
hello.
looking at snacks as
Hola.
well.
I mean, I had pizza rolls.
I mean, that counts.
That was so
You mean those-
kawaii. That wasn't
you
even
mean
like
those-
Mexican.
Those traps, they act like they're not hot, and then you bite into them and they burn the shit out of you, and then you hate your life.
I mean,
Oh, they're
mine were,
miserable.
yeah, mine
Miserable.
were perfect. So I mean, I don't have that problem ever.
Well, tell us your secrets, because every time I've ever made pizza rolls, it's like, ooh, this looks done, and then you bite it, and then you got 4th-degree burns. This doesn't even exist.
or it's fucking frozen in the middle still.
I've had to regrow my taste buds 3 times in my life.
Real talk, dude. Real talk. Or like they rupture and there's nothing left inside of them, and it's like, okay, well, I have oily bread. Wonderful.
One was from a pizza roll, one was from a cookie on a ferry, and the third one was I stuck my tongue
That's terrible.
to the metal handle on my grandma's Cadillac in the middle of January.
How's he doing that?
Am I in here twice for you guys?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are.
That's why I was like, how are you doing
It's
that?
low key
Why-
kind of
Why does this
awesome.
always something really weird happen whenever you jump in? Like,
Yeah, like your stream doesn't work, your audio doesn't work. Now
Boy,
there's
nothing
your
works for me.
twin is joining us. Okay, now he's
Yo,
gone.
Pooter says my man Codex repping 21 Pilots. Are you repping 21
I
Pilots?
mean, I
over
think
there?
he's gone. I think it's his doppelganger that's still here.
Okay, so with that
I just like
beautiful,
that freeze frame. He looks
Yeah.
like look how
Like-
So
prestigious.
focused.
such a
That's a
happy boy.
prestigious shot.
So
It's-
on that note, we will start the episode. So thank y'all one and all for joining the LootCast. You can find us right here on youtube.com/thegamelooters every single Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And who you can find is this beautiful cast of characters: Jakin, Mono, Codex, myself, Cynthia, and sometimes we might even have a special guest. So you guys are going to see who that is potentially later.
I can't believe this is only the 4th LootCast we've done so far.
Technically the 5th. We had a
I mean,
soft
okay,
launch, so we're
that
really
didn't count.
hard into it now. So, and so before we start the official episode, I know we have a few different topics that we're gonna go over today, but real quick, I wanted to start with what is everybody playing? What games are you playing? It is June. We're going into July. I want to know what's in your guys' Switch, Xboxes, PlayStations, or digitally on PC. What are you guys playing? See whoever starts first.
Does anybody here play video games?
Well, you know, mostly. I watch. I
play Go
watch.
Fish with myself. From
I
time to
watch
time.
Roblox. Does that count?
What are you playing, Jakin?
Fucking liar.
Roblox.
He's lying. Our dog
I've
is trying to
been
get that.
well. I took advantage of a real sweet sale on the eShop.
Ooh,
My
on the
God.
Yeah?
on the
Good
Switch
go.
What'd you get?
eShop.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
I got Urban Trials Playground for $3, and
Okay.
I got
What?
Kamiko for $2,
Dang.
and that's like a Zelda like. It's a 5-hour game, but there's 3 separate playthroughs you can do with 3 separate characters. So
Dude, that's what's up.
it's pretty good.
I mean, is it
And,
worth replaying again the second and third time?
Yeah, because it's way different. Like because each character has a different weapon and different skills and stuff.
Anything change with story? Why am I so white?
You're not really. Like that,
I'd
though.
assume so. I haven't finished the first playthrough because I just bought it yesterday.
Okay.
But I mean, it seems pretty good, especially for $2. Like you can't beat that. And then
You
know,
can't. You spend $6. You got 2 games. That's not bad.
And I'm back to maining Cloud and Smash, so I've been wrecking people with him. You know how it goes.
Nice, nice. Are you in what Codex would call Elite Smash yet?
Oh, I don't quick play. These people are garbage.
What?
Codex.
I don't quick
Understandable.
play because I'm scared of other people.
Dude, all right. Have you ever quick played and it will be 3 stocks, 1 minute, or something stupid like that, and then
No.
there's items, and I just don't have time for it.
That's why you set up your own rules.
Yeah, but you don't always get your rules.
Like maybe 1 in like 30 times you don't. Maybe.
I disagree.
All right. So what else you playing, Jake? Are those your 3 mains right now?
Infamous Second Son on the PS4. Trying to finish
Wow.
that.
What made you go back there? That's a oldie.
Yeah.
Well, I picked it up on a sale probably 3 or 4 months ago, and it's just been sitting in my backlog.
Hey,
So
it's a perfect time for that.
yeah, and then I am buying Mario Maker 2.
This
Tomorrow?
Friday, right? Is that tomorrow?
Yeah,
It comes out tomorrow?
yeah, it comes out
Wait,
tomorrow.
what comes out tomorrow?
Mario Maker 2.
Mario Maker 2.
Why
Well,
do you-
that leads me into one of the things. Yeah, I knew that was coming out this week. Have you watched any reviews or have you seen anything on it yet? Or are you just kind of going completely dark or what?
Well, I mean, I know where it's sitting on the Metacritic. I think it's at 89. At least it was this morning.
Yeah, which is a point
Um,
better than the last one, right?
No, I think, but I think it's like 15 higher than the 3DS.
Oh,
So-
well, I mean, you could make a game be higher than the 3DS one and call it Jakin's Maker or something.
Maybe I will.
should do
Chicken
that.
maker. Sounds
But,
fantastic.
Fantastic.
I mean, I kind of know what it's gonna be like going into it. I haven't watched anything in terms of like the campaign or.
Yeah.
I'm ready to make some really weird stuff.
Gotcha.
All right. On
That's
that
what's
note,
up. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen anything about Mario Maker so far. I think I saw a review, and I saw something about like you can do a cart. There's like some kind of cart that you can edit in now that'll, I guess, like an auto run kind of Mario Kart style thing. So I thought that was pretty neat. Real quick before we go to the next part, I want to go through chat. Pooter over there on Twitch says he's been playing My Friend Pedro his 4th time through already. Did anybody want to pick that game up? Have you guys heard of that, My Friend Pedro?
I want it, but I'm waiting for a sale. But it looks good.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of
Yes, Steve.
Deadpool.
Yeah, I agree. It has cool aesthetic, but what is it? $20? $24.99?
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe once it goes to like a $10 mark, that'd probably be a steal. Junior Jimenez says he also does not play quick play because he is
too
also
scary.
scared.
Steve.
Steve's in the chat. What up,
Hola.
Steve? All right, well, moving on. Mono, what have you been playing, man? I know the Steam summer sales hitting, right?
Yeah, I didn't really. There's a lot of stuff on the Steam Summer Sale that I'd love to grab, but I've got enough. What would you call it? Like FPS.
Backlog?
Yeah, I've got enough backlog as it is on stuff that like I'm not really actively playing, and plus I kind of doubled back to like my true passion, which is flight sims. I've been playing War Thunder and IL2 a lot. I did grab a bunch of stuff from the Steam sale for that, but that's really all I picked up this time. But
yeah, I heard you skipped out on a game with us because you had put in like 3 or 4 hours on that flight game.
yeah,
Yeah,
like I
'cause
can
Dom
easily
was-
play that. There was literally a point where I played that game probably 6 to 8 hours straight daily.
Well, it was
I got,
funny
like-
because Dom was like, "Yeah, Chris is gonna play with us," and then like he texts you, and you're like, "Nah."
Yeah,
I was like, he's out there with his one true passion, flying around, taking down
What
the
can I say?
baddies. One game that I did want to ask you about, I saw on Steam, so I went there with your advice, and I was like,
Yep.
what can I pick up? So I gave it a gander, and the answer mostly is nothing, but there's one game that stood out, and that's Frostpunk. So I think that's like $14.99, maybe $17.99, and
I don't think
that's a
I've heard
game
that
that I was
one.
interested in probably earlier this year, beginning of this year, last year, and I'm still thinking about picking that up, but I'm not sure yet. Have you played that? Have you heard of it? Have you seen it?
I think I've seen it a few times on like the trending list and whatnot, but personally, no, I haven't played it. It's not in my library. Couldn't comment. And I know, for you, you're digital, anti-digital. You would like to have a physical copy, which I understand and respect.
Yes.
So, not for everybody is there something on the Steam sale or what have you, but there's a lot of sales going on right now in general. So if you can't find something on Steam, there's something discounted right now. But no, I've not played that game. What's it about?
To my knowledge, it's kind of like a building sim to where like you have to like build a city and then you protect its like forces or protect its forces. You protect the surrounding area by like different forces and stuff. I'm typically not into these kinds of games, but for some reason this one just caught my eye earlier in the year and I've continued to look at it. But I think it was like $40 or something.
I mean,
just
what
a little
are
too.
you protecting it from? I still don't get it.
Well, I don't know the specifics. I mean, I'm just giving you a general gist. I don't know like
It's
the
a
deep
Frostpunk
lore.
is a first society survival game. As the ruler of the last city on Earth, it is
Yeah.
your duty to manage both its citizens and infrastructure to survive your society's survival.
Yeah, so
That's actually kind of neat. So it's like more of like an action and more localized, sort of like a Civ, like Civilization or Sim City, but like with enemies and stuff.
Yeah, exactly,
Kinda neat.
exactly. And that's what kind of caught me was, hey, I can build a city. I can kind of go deep into all the normal mechanics, but then there's like a protection kind of fighting kind of aspect to it, which I thought like, that's kind of cool.
Well, for what it's worth, it's got 22,599 reviews, and it's rated at very positive, which is the highest rating that it could receive on Steam. Or I think extremely is the only next tier. So
Gotcha. I mean, that's pretty good. All right,
Pretty good.
Codex, throwing the ball over to you, my friend. What have you been playing this week, this month, today?
I'm really ashamed to say, I don't think that I've even touched my video games for like an entire week. Honestly, since we've been back at E3, I don't think I've played a video game.
Why?
You little slut.
I don't
You
know.
bad boy, you. Living up to those eyebrows.
Hey man,
So
I
So
can.
fresh and so
I can-
clean.
Did your eyebrows grow back? They've doubled in size.
What do you mean growed back? They're the same. There's
I
nothing.
don't think so.
They've doubled in size. It's like a Disney line, and on that day, it doubled in size.
Next thing you know, they're gonna turn into butterflies and fly away.
Wow. How have you been talking to Dom? You think you're funny, huh?
It is pretty
No,
funny.
I
It still got me to laugh right now.
Is that a common theme, Dom? Do you say that to him?
You used to say that
must
to
be
me
true.
all the time, like a year ago.
And then he took
Hi,
care
Trap.
of him.
Weeboo in the house.
What up? He said, like the video? Yes, please.
Thank you.
Over to you. What have you been playing?
I mean, I've been definitely going back into our old throwbacks, and so I've gotten I got Dom to play Iceborne with me this last weekend because it was an open beta.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't check out our live stream when we were doing that, go and watch our play back our video, right?
I've got a question about that actually, Cynthia. With the beta, is it like sort of more of the same, just in a different setting and just like new monsters and XYZ, or are they actually adding like, you know, new craft mechanics or anything new mechanically speaking, or is it pretty much just throwing more on the pile?
Yeah, yes to all your questions actually. So they did throw in more mechanics, and so if you didn't see already, they added this one tool that's called the Clutch Claw. It helps you quickly mount a monster and deal massive amounts of damage.
Oh, that's a new thing?
Yeah, that's new. Yeah, no, we got to experience it firsthand at E3 and then again with the open beta. Now, if you didn't have PlayStation Plus, you weren't able to play this last weekend, but starting, I believe, tomorrow, Friday to Sunday again, any PlayStation owner will be able to have access to this weekend's open beta.
Yes, so you have another shot. Is what
Yeah,
you're trying to say.
so please download it, right? Everybody that's watching, the LootCast included, and, jump in sometime this weekend, right? You might want to be able to, get it later. When it releases, when is it coming out?
September something, September 6th, September 26th, one of the two.
Now, as far as
September's
the actual...
packed.
Yes, it is.
It is. Now, as far as the actual expansion itself, have you ever played Monster Hunter World, Chris?
Yeah, just a very, very little bit.
Okay.
Not enough to comment.
Okay, so the expansion with Iceborne, it's a brand new open area. I would probably say just as big or bigger than the ancient... I forget the actual name. The first open world that you get to explore, right? A bunch of new monsters, and then there's a lot of new mechanics upgrades as far as your hub world goes, and so they've condensed everything a lot, so that way you can go to your room, craft items and everything when you're in the hub world before you go out on a mission. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. They've even separated your palico and your room keeper.
So your kitty cat.
Yeah, from your actual room itself. So you're no longer required to enter your room to talk to your housekeeper to send your palico out on missions, or to change or equip certain type of armor sets or weapon types on your palico. Same thing with your weapon box. It's so much easier for you to swap out anything, not requiring to go into your actual physical room. Because of the whole Iceborne expansion, they've also included hot drinks. So, I mean, it's really important to craft those.
And I know you guys are wondering, they had cold drinks before as well.
Yes,
Just throwing it out there.
from old previous.
What about
Monster Hunter
lukewarm?
Worlds.
Well, I mean,
has to
that's
be-
if you take both at the same time.
It's extra spicy. I mean, I think it's going to be really fun. And so just the fact, I mean, we need to get back in this weekend because we didn't defeat the T-Rex.
Tigrex.
Thank you. I knew I was saying it wrong. But we have one last weekend to try it. Apart from the Iceborne expansion for Monster Hunter World, the only other thing I played so far this week was another throwback, State of Decay. At E3, they announced the Heartland expansion, and right before E3. So we downloaded it before we left to Cali, and so we've actually been playing it this last week. And so I kind of like it. I mean,
it's free on Game Pass. So if you guys have Game Pass, if you did the $1 thing, or if you pay monthly, whatever the case is, you guys have access to
Heartland,
all of it. And it's an interesting game.
I mean,
I do suggest playing with somebody else, but it's not necessary because I went through like a whole community like solo at one point.
You went to like 4 community solo.
Well, this is my
but I mean, if you like killing zombies, definitely check out this State of Decay 2, and then the Heartland expansion. I mean, I think it's really fun. I never really liked zombie games, and so Dom kind of got me into it. And now I'm kind of just stuck on it. And so it's really good. When I suggested, I was really like, "Hey, let's play Heartlands." Dom's like, "No, let's play another game." I'm like, "Nah, fucker, I want to play Heartland."
And I'm sure Codex remembers, like it was yesterday, from the top 10 video games from 2018 that we did together. I'm sure he remembers that this was on my list. Yeah, look at his face right now. He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday." Those are the eyeballs right there. So, I'll end with the games I'm playing. Did anybody here decide to pick up Crash Nitro Fuel, Crash Team Racing?
Nope, but I know you've been playing it.
Yes.
Well, that's
Jake?
why I asked if you guys have.
I'm very tempted because I like kart racers.
What's holding you back? Price?
No, I think I'm just gonna get.
Don't say Sonic.
I might not get him. Because I'm holding out for next month. I think I'm getting Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and I think I'm getting Fire Emblems next month.
Yeah,
but I just don't want to spend. I don't want to spend any more money on like brand new games.
Gotcha. Yeah, Fire Emblem's on my list. It's not my cup of tea. I've never completed a Fire Emblem game before, but from what I've seen, this is going to be one that I actually really want to jump into. It looks really interesting to me with the whole Harry Potter school aspect. So
I heard something that I don't know if you've heard, but so when you start in one of the houses, as you play through, the game is relatively similar in terms of plot and everything like that.
Yeah.
But then there's a time skip.
5 years.
And yeah. So everything after the time skip is completely different from the other houses. So you could theoretically have you have to do 3 separate playthroughs to experience the entire game.
Aren't there 4 houses?
No, there's 3. That's why it's called 3 houses.
It's not Harry Potter. This is Fire Emblem.
Oh.
Yeah. Fire Emblem,
I got so confused. I'm like counting over my fingers. I was like, I fucking swear there was
You're like Hufflepuff, Slytherin, Gryffindor. Wait a minute.
That's I'm like, motherfuckers, don't lie to me.
10 points for Gryffindor? I think not.
Yeah, but dude, the moment that I heard romantic options are available, I was like, count me in.
Yes.
I know you like that waifu.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I'm all fired up for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Okay, so anyways, I've been playing Crash Team Racing. It's fantastic. I've never been a Crash Team Racing person. I've never played it. I think I played it a few times at my cousin's house when I was a kid, like 20-something years ago.
But you never owned the first one.
Yeah, I never owned it. Never into it. I was always a Mario Kart person if I even was playing kart games at all. So I've really liked this so far. Adventure mode is pretty cool, although I'm not deep into it. Online, I've kind of messed around with it a little bit, but I've only played a few matches. And then we've played a few of the cups. And I will say it is hard, but it's not hard once you start knowing what you're doing. Once you start knowing what you're doing and what everything does, how drifts function, everything, I think it starts to get a lot easier.
No, okay, here's the shit part. So, apparently I'm a natural catch-on when it comes to these fucking racing games. Dom he has invested probably a good 5 more hours than me. And
maybe like an hour.
No, 5 at least. I saw you playing a good chunk of it, and I refused to touch it. And then he was like, "Come on, just play with us, right?" And I was like, "Fine," or whatever.
I agree, Brian. Yo, what up, Chips?
It's like I think is going to be a beast. I mean, I am a beast already, but I still suck.
Already.
No, okay, so here's the thing. This man had 5 more hours on than me on it. I jump in. I was like, all right, what do you do? He told me, and I'm like whipping his ass. But at the same time, he's like, come on, you got to carry the team. I'm like, nah, fuck you. This shit's hard.
Someone's got to win.
I be coming in like 3rd place all the time. This bitch coming in fucking 8th. And I'm like, no, I don't like this at all. And Dom's like, come on, here, let's do online. Fuck that. I'm even worse online. But I'm like, no, to me, it feels too complicated. The mechanic part of it, I mean, my fingers just aren't cooperating. And I'm like, I just rather not.
Either way, though, it's a good game, so I recommend anybody on the panel, if it interests you a little bit, think about picking it up. The one thing I will say, though, is the price tag, $39.99, was a little bit too steep. I think $29.99, like $30 would have been a better price point. It would have been a better a point of entry for more people to pick it up.
Hey, Jets.
And so, I mean, that's kind of my thoughts there, is it's really good, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The next game I picked up was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Have any of you guys on the panel played it?
I've been watching Rax play it.
And I was gonna say I saw Rax.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, it looks good. It looks like Castlevania.
Yeah,
it's something that I will definitely pick up when it's on sale. Just because it really dropped at an unfortunate time.
Yeah.
Like if it had dropped a month ago, I would be all over it. But it didn't. It dropped a couple days before Mario Maker.
It's understandable. So. Well, here's what I would say, dude. I'm not a platformer fan. I mean, I played all the platformers when I was young. I've never kind of like in my adulthood really been into platformers except for like a very, very select few. And yeah, it is very Castlevania, but even then, the Castlevania series, I'm not the huge. I've played maybe 3 Castlevania games, so I'm not the biggest proponent of it. But what I will say is, A, it's very hard, at least to me, and B, I enjoy the kind of challenge it presents to get over each level and each boss, and the fact that you have to kind of watch your enemies and stuff. And it's been giving me a rough go, but I've been enjoying all of my time with it. I think I've clocked in 8-9-ish hours so far into the game, and I'm having a really good time with it. I think the customization is awesome. I think the art direction is awesome. I picked it up on the PS4, so I don't know. I know a lot of people are having a rough time with the Switch version out there. I guess that came out, and it runs at half the frames per second, and it has all kinds of problems with input lag and stuff. So if you got it on Switch, I hope that they update that very soon. But if you got it on Switch, you probably didn't get it on PlayStation, so you may not know the difference. So I hope everyone's having fun with that. And then, guys, the last game that I picked up, which was yesterday, was Judgment on the PlayStation 4. It's
that was a nice surprise.
By the creators of Yakuza.
He's picked up 3 fucking games.
Has any of you guys? I have problems. This is what
I'm not even shitting. He hasn't even told me about any of these games. I just come home and he's playing, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey,
we have a job, Cynthia. Okay,
we all work for something.
He works for that money. Get off his ass.
Hot for the money.
I kind of forgave him because he just bought me a Funko Pop today.
Yes. So Judgment. Has any of the panel heard of the game Judgment?
Have not. Enlighten.
What?
I really? watched my friend stream it. I literally thought she was streaming Yakuza.
So the cool thing is it takes place in the exact same city. I mean, everything is identical.
It's Yomorocho
of Yakuza, right?
Oh, no.
So the cool thing is it's kind of like the reversed roles. You're not a Yakuza. You're actually an ex-lawyer detective.
Okay, it seemed dramatic. Like there was some.
So you're pretty much a detective just running around. Is it Japan?
Yeah.
You're just a detective just running around Japan, just solving these crimes.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. The moment we get off of this today, I'm going back and playing more Judgment. I was immediately hooked, and it's super important to me for games to immediately hook you. The ones that you have to kind of like give in, give them time, and then like. It'll be good, I promise. Just play 12 hours of it, and then you just get past all of the blah, blah, blah. Like, it immediately hooked me, and I was like, okay, I'm in. I think I put 3 hours in last night. It's very tired
I'm not
today.
gonna play it, but I've been watching him play it. The story is actually pretty good.
So just give it a look is what I'm saying. Again, the game is Judgment. It's on the PlayStation 4. It's PlayStation 4 Pro optimized, HDR, the fun stuff. So just take a look at it, guys, if you haven't. This game is going to be fantastic. It's probably going to be on one of my games of the year. It's honestly that good so far, and I've only put 3 hours into it. I'm already making that call. Okay.
Quick question. Sorry, quick question. Is it better than Yakuza Kiwami?
Yes, I played. That's the only other Yakuza game I played, and it is already better. Yakuza, I had to give it a couple hours before it really started to sink in with me, and then I played through the rest of the game. This one is immediately better. And it might be because I have familiarity to the series already, but that's just my instant impression of it.
So I wanted to check real quick on the chat.
That's exactly what I was gonna do. Go ahead.
Steve, I think his comment, the mechanics are the best part, was for Crash Team Racing. This is why I'm having difficulties. Okay, if you have these and you're better than me, I will practice more. Apart from this, my fingers are having issues when I go from button to button and clicking and stuff, and so cut me some slack.
Yo, Brian, hollering out there. The looters are almost at 300 subs. We're almost there, guys. We're just 5 beautiful people away.
4 away.
4?
4?
What? Did someone just sub?
4?
We didn't get a notification.
Let's see.
Well, thank you, whoever it was, for subbing today.
Yo, Rax, what up, Rax? Where's the Rax? Where's the Rax home? What up, Rax? Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's move in to the main topics. Mr. Mono did the honors this week of putting together the different topics of the show. Take it away, my friend.
We 30 minutes in. Topic 1.
Hey, that's fine, because some of these aren't really something that maybe will prompt a lot of discussion. One thing that I'm sure that everybody's already aware of, but just to make sure we know that all the available options are out there, because let's face it, this is mostly for Bearded Dom because he spends, buys a game or two every week. So I want to make sure that you know where the best place to find the sales ongoing right now are. Of course, we know about the Steam sale. PlayStation 4, their gold membership is going to have some exclusive discounts on a lot of titles, like the Assassin's Creed trilogies and whatnot. It's going to be like $18 and below. Battlefield, it's going to go on sale. Titanfall 2 for $7.50.
That's a steal. Please play this game, guys, if you haven't already.
Persona Dancing Endless Night Collection. No idea what that is, but it's $60.
Play it. Oh, you guys,
it's a dancing game featuring music from Persona.
Oh my
it's
Lord.
amazing. It's amazing. They have music video
Endless Night
backdrops.
Collection. It's going to be on sale for you. But not only are we seeing the PS4 stuff, Amazon is going to be doing a sale as well, because Target had this initiative to go ahead and reduce prices to compete with Amazon's Amazon Prime Day, and then Amazon was like, whatever, we'll just match your prices. So you can find Crash Team Racing on sale right now for $27.99, Dom. So
that's a good deal.
Couple dollars off there.
Hey, I still have my Best Buy discount. It cost me $32, guys. And that, to answer your question, Chips, that's part of how I'm able to buy games, is because I still have my Best Buy discount. And it's not 2 to 3 every week, just some weeks.
It was just this week.
Yeah,
but
some weeks.
Fucking Codex out here. Shut up, dude.
Devil May Cry actually is at $49.29 on Amazon right now. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is $47.35. Basically, they are just driving down pricing because of all the ongoing sales. Of course, Amazon Prime Day is going to be July 10th. So all your gaming peripherals, so your headsets, if you need that new Pro controller, XYZ, that is a very hot day. Hopefully the site does not break like it did last time.
Hey, that's a perfect question. I saw something on Twitter. Somebody post. I can't remember who, but I was following some. I just want to put this out there because I thought it was crazy. I saw a post on Twitter that was like, finally, after 2 years, got a Pro controller. Something. Then he was doing his impressions. It was somebody that I follow on Twitter. Do all of you have Pro controllers, right? Because if you don't play on a Pro controller, I don't know how you use the little Joy-Cons as your primary controller. I mean,
Yeah, I've got the Switch Pro controller.
Everybody went the way of the Pro, right?
No.
Yeah.
I have the Smash Pro controller and I have a GameCube
I
controller.
just use GameCube.
What's the Smash controller? What's that?
It's the limited edition one that dropped with Super Smash Brothers. It's black and silver.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there as you said that because I was like, it just went into my head. I was just baffled that somebody went so long because once you get the Pro controller, it's basically like if you're playing on the TV, like that's like the only way you should play. Unless, a ton of people come over or whatever.
Well, it's just like Pokemon Go where you have to snap in something else. But for most everything, yeah, I think I usually go the Pro controller.
The Loot God is from what did he put? Ludix NY or Ludica NY. Yo, what up? Thank you for coming into the stream.
What?
Yo, thanks for joining. On a final note on the sales, I wanted to share with you, as much as I love Steam and the gaming platform, there's something that happened that was pretty funny. So Steam always, and a lot of these places do, right? They'll do like little events with their sales where like buy a bunch of games, you get a badge on your profile that shows that you are a great person or whatever. Steam did that this year, but they took it up a notch with a little mini game. So people would choose teams. It was like a Grand Prix, and then whichever team per day had the most points via metrics, shares, and purchases and whatnot would win, right? Like a race. And the prize was a free title off of your wish list per day. But they didn't give any more clarity on it. So what people did was they mass deleted games off their wish list so that they could narrow down the range of which games would be picked. So Steam in like 24 hours went from like an average of like 1,000 or 2,000 wish list deletes to 700,000 wish list deletes.
Oh my God.
And gaming developers were like, what is going on? My titles are tanking. Why does nobody care about it anymore? So there was a lot of like backlash on that on Twitter. And then like Steam had to come out and like publicly say like, we could have done better. Just, put your favorite game on the top of your wish list and then we'll pick that. But it kind of flew under the radar, but it just shows how mismanaged this stuff can get whenever they are going for the little flare pieces. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I agree. Rax, that's pretty funny. Okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Look out for those sales. A lot of the topics today have to do with
That's a good
money.
PSA.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good. Tis the summer, tis the season for sales for games. So, but a lot of stuff has to do with money, impact on your wallet, because there's a lot of that news circulating right now. So just came out actually. Video game systems could cost shoppers $840 million more this holiday season. Console makers say. What? So the interesting thing about this, before I start reading the excerpt, is that this was presented in a document where it is in partnership with Sony, Microsoft. All of them came together and released a public document, kind of getting this information out to the public. So basically, it says no good news for gamers from the shelf or store. Tariffs on imports from China could price 1/4 of U.S. families out of the market to buy a video game system this holiday season. Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony, in a letter to the U.S. Trade Representative's office, wrote that tariff prices on an Xbox, Switch, or PlayStation will make them out of reach for many American families. It was a rare joint effort, and basically they're blaming the current administration for that, which, did implement the tariff. However, this tariff has been in action for years. Couple years at least now. So what do you guys think? Is this politically motivated? Is this sincere? Does it have a greater impact on electronic entertainment and the current state and the future? And what do you think will happen to like the availability of consoles? Do you think they'll make more, like make less of them? Are they going to sit in bins on the import?
If they make less of them, it's going to be more expensive.
Like what are they going to do? How do you think people are going to take this?
I mean, I for one am glad because I'm tired of playing video games with poor people.
What?
Poor people?
That was a joke. No, I don't know. I thought I thought Nintendo moved their manufacturing company to Southeast Asia.
Well, they moved some of their manufacturing out of China, but not all. They still have like 75% of it done in China, but they moved a good portion of it. But it was prior to this coming out, so
I think the issue starts to rise with like I know that like a lot of the NAND memory still comes from China, like all the flash stuff that goes on the circuit boards and stuff. So somewhere along the line, some of the parts are going to come from there.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the prices of the new consoles are going to be higher anyway, just because the U.S. dollar's value is going down and the technology is getting better. So the fact that everyone wants it to stay $400 is ridiculous.
Well, Dom, you said something about like $599 for the PS5. There was some analyst speculating $899 or something?
Yeah.
$799, $800, I think. And that was
yeah.
That was a dude with a little bit of inside info.
That it wasn't Matt Piscatella, was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. I think that's just what they were like guessing at. But I mean, what's kind of crazy is when I was going through this, what they're saying is essentially the tariff would increase by like 10%. So if that were to happen, all the companies would be charged like 10%, which means that cost more than likely would be passed down to us as consumers, because obviously that's the only way it's going to be absorbed. But I think it's good that all three of the companies are coming together to combat this, and I think it is politically kind of driven forward, but I don't think it was done maliciously. I think this was just kind of like a brush over of the industry. So I think as these guys kind of put their might together to fight this, I think that they might get pardoned from it even being relevant ultimately. So I don't think this will really come of anything, but if for some reason it would, I mean, the days of paying $60 a game are probably going to be more like $70, and the days of paying your $400 launch console will probably be $5, $6, $7. I think that could be a reality at that point.
I mean, Brian has a valid point. He's like, well, it looks like my PS4 is going to be sticking around a lot longer. I mean, that's initially what's going to end up happening. I mean, people are going to hold on to their older consoles a lot longer because they're not going to want to reinvest into a newer console because it just costs too much money.
Yeah,
they don't care. All they're gonna do is they're just gonna slowly shut down servers for it, and games will stop being made for it, and it'll force you to go to the new console.
Well, yeah, but when now my PlayStation 4, I mean, has everything I need right now. I mean, what more do I need in the next PlayStation 5? That's gonna cost me like $500-$600.
Companies were still making games for the PS3 up until like a couple years ago, I think 2016 or something like that.
Guys, Just Dance 2020 is still coming out on the Wii this year. Like, I mean, jeez.
I don't know about y'all, but I think everyone's gonna pick one. Like, if somebody has a PS4 and Xbox One right now, like I do, I'm gonna get the Xbox One, like the Xbox 2, and I'm just gonna keep my PS4. And I'll just play games that are backwards compatible. So it's not like it's not the biggest hindrance in the world for the consoles to be really expensive. Well, personally, I don't know.
I think the bigger problem is it's not just necessarily the cost will be from consoles. I mean, it'll all the manufacturing, including game discs, the plastic that your games come in, all the physical stuff, like all of that cost will go up. And if people buy less, that means less jobs for people creating and less jobs for people doing things. So I think it'll have a waterfall effect if for some reason it does come to light.
Which will touch a little bit on the topic of game developer side of things too later on, but yeah, it's going to have it. I agree on all fronts. It's going to have an impact and I've got a question.
What up, Nintendo?
And I probably should have researched this because I don't think it popped in my mind before, but why were our PS4, like PS4s existed before the tariff, why did their costs not go up after the tariff? Did the tariff only target things for the future? Like, I don't like newly made products. If products were already being exchanged, they weren't affected.
Don't know. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if the PS4s are already here, then the tariff wouldn't affect them, would it?
Right. No, correct, because it's all
Yeah.
about the import. But I mean, do they already have? There's no way they had all the units they'd ever need for the next X number of years already made, or do they make them in the period of 1 year? Like, I don't really know how the console production occurs. Like, you'd figure it's like anything else where they just make them X number over the year, and then next year they make X number, and so on and so forth.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I would assume that the production of PS4s has gone down substantially, just because they look at what they're selling and they, adjust their manufacturing. But I don't. We'd have to get into like statistics and stuff. We'd have to pull up.
Yeah, I don't have the numbers. But another things that they may do to cut their losses on it is, like I said, if they do produce less units, then the people, if people are going to want to buy it anyway, despite this price tag, then that'll also create, greater scarcity.
Yeah.
Which will be, bad for everybody. Remembers when the Wii came out, like you couldn't get one if you wanted one, there wasn't enough units produced for like 6 months or something like that. Maybe longer.
Yeah, there was a big. They definitely underplanned that one for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake, I mean, you have a request. Look at chat.
What is it?
They're requesting a word from the man. The
Orange Man.
The man who's handling all of this, I guess.
Yeah, they want the appearance of the Don Don.
Oh god.
The goat. There's a lot of questions to be raised on it. It could, on some level, also just kind of wonder if it's like a scare tactic, a little bit like a formal scare tactic. Because I mean, they are getting hit in the wallet, but at the same time, should I really feel bad for them absorbing that because they're not going to and pass it on to us? I don't know.
All right, guys. I've got something to say. Do you think we're going to be pushed around? Do you think the Americans are afraid to spend a little more money? I don't think so. No way. All right. We've got Halo. We've got Forza. Those little Chinamen don't know what's going to hit them. We're coming for them. Fast and Furious. Not Tokyo Drift.
Coming for them hard, the Don Don strikes.
Very good.
I mean, is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's left the building. He's running after his toupee.
I don't know why y'all coming at my man like that.
So he's too
I had
tired
to
for
take
him.
my hat off in respect.
I'm very sleepy.
All right.
I've been count my money all day. I don't know.
What else we got? What else we got, Mono?
I mean, again, the last one on the subject of, totally on the subject of money in games. I did find this kind of interesting because we, again, talking about, cost of, X, Y, or Z impact of China tariffs and whatnot. The video game industry, as far as I'm reading, is actually not a major growth industry. As a matter of fact, looking at Activision Blizzard, which is just one small sample of a bigger picture. So where's the growth in video games? There's an odd discrepancy taking place in the industry of video games where most investors would view it as a growth industry with exciting advances like esports and digital in-game purchases, loot boxes, whatnot. But the reality is that video games today do not grow. The industry does not grow. Looking at Activision and Blizzard, Take-Two Interactive, and Electronic Arts, these companies have really only advanced 2% over a decade. So for the last 10 years of your wallet, my wallet, all the investments that they've made, all the games they've produced, their market share has only grown 2%.
Dang, those are you had my top 4 companies in one sentence. I never thought that could happen.
All the big players that you think are raking, and 2% of $1 billion industry is a big number. But also at the same time, it's a very small growth in the scheme of things. So, does anybody find that surprising at all?
What up, Nintendo? He looks surprised.
I know. He just kind of.
I was waiting for somebody to notice Nick was in here.
What's that? What's that?
What's going on?
I just got home. Work was killing me, so I just decided to hop in here.
Hey, we
How's
appreciate
everybody
you
doing?
hopping on.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about tariffs.
2% milk.
2% milk.
Yeah, I was just digging into some. So a lot of the news this week is coming out about tariffs impacting the consoles and their pricing. We just talked about how Sony and Nintendo and Xbox basically came forward and was like, this is going to cost the consumer too much money with the tariffs. And then also the video game industry as a whole has only grown 2% in the last 10 years. So, all the big players are saying we ain't making enough money, essentially. Do you find that shocking? Or
I find that shocking because all you've heard for the last 10 years is how much gaming is growing. You know what I mean? So for the market to only grow what you said 2% is kind of a crazy number. All we keep hearing is they're breaking records and selling more and more and more, but then that number comes out. I don't know. That kind of contradicts itself. But
so what it's saying here is that there are a number of reasons video game revenue hasn't increased significantly over the past decade. A big one is the trend towards free games, with monetization coming on the back end for developers instead of the upfront $50 or more purchase. And then if a game has millions of users, the freemium model can be great, but if it's a smaller base, it may not be profitable, of course. So a lot of the companies, it's citing blockbuster games like Call of Duty and all those being the major ones for those initial release cycles. But even with their loot box systems, they're still saying, analysts are still showing they're only growing 2%, and esports isn't really impacting it. I just find that crazy.
Brian wants to know how does it with the previous growth compare? Also, are they adjusting the rope growth for the recession in the past decade?
Honestly, the article did not go into that detail from what I read. So that's a good question.
Well, I mean, in the same respect, the recession was pre-2010. They're saying the last decade, which would be roughly till 2009. So in reality, they kind of lived through the recessions. They're on the after fact. So if anything, that growth should have gone further north than 2%. But I mean, considering their practices that they've been doing over the last decade, it doesn't surprise me that they had minimal growth. I feel like sometimes EA is still trying to survive in a way, it feels like. And they're trying to survive off a few specific titles. I think they're just squeezing.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think really, honestly, most major publishers really their leg to stand on is the namesake titles. Your Battlefields, your Call of Duties, your Marios, your Sonics, whatever it is. Those are the ones that are still bringing in repeat customers consistently. Whereas any XYZ, new IP releases could be hit or miss.
Jedi Fallen Order, which we'll see, which is looking fantastic. It's looking mighty, mighty good coming out later this year. Crossing fingers for that bad boy.
Dude, I can't believe they didn't show that you can go onto your ship mid-mission and it's almost like a Metroidvania where you explore.
Yeah, the only thing they did was cover the overworld, the options on which planets you can go to, but they didn't go further than that.
Seems great.
So that's pretty much it for the money in the industry kind of stuff. But did you guys hear about? Well, first of all, I just plugged into the chat earlier that Final Fantasy VII pre-sale is on sale for $42 right now. If anybody's interested, it's on Amazon for PS4.
Wait, what?
Yeah, $42.99 or $41.99 for Final Fantasy Episode 1, Final Fantasy VII Episode 1.
Which is that's the cheapest you're going to be able to get it.
Grab it right now.
Yeah, it's on. Go to Wario's page on Twitter, and he sent a link, or I can re-spam it in chat for you. But for that being said, did you guys hear that Sony has announced a live-action Final Fantasy 14 series?
No.
Yeah, Sony basically today Sony Pictures television production company said Hive Mind Entertainment, who is the company behind Netflix's forthcoming adaptation of The Witcher and The Expanse, what they've already made, is they're going to make a TV series based on the online role-playing game Final Fantasy 14.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
I read that when you sent us the agenda. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, why 14?
Something we didn't know we needed until we got it. Let's just.
But do
I
we
mean,
need it?
the thing is, do we really need it?
We
I don't
really
think
need
so. No, we don't need it.
So it's funny. It's gonna be an original story set in Eorza. I honestly have no idea what's going on in Final Fantasy 14. Isn't that a Realm Reborn? Is that right? Is that the MMO? Is that the actual like?
Yeah, that's the MMO game, but
that's the WoW. Oh wow. But anyway, the series will focus on is still under wraps. It's still in the developmental stages, writing and whatnot. But they are promising that longtime calling cards like Magitech, Beastman, Airships, Chocobo, and Sid
Chocobo
will all make appearances in the series.
I mean, is Chocobo gonna look like what's that yellow Big Bird?
Yeah, guaranteed.
I mean, like, I honestly, when I think of live action, that's what I'm imagining right away. I'm like, it's gonna be just fucking Big Bird.
Chocobo.
Chip says they got bunny girls and chocobos. It makes it more appealing.
Hey, I like
mean,
Vera.
You're not wrong.
No, it is one of those things. It's like, I guess maybe I need this. I have no idea. Look, I played WoW, and I only know about Final Fantasy 14 in the capacity that it's a WoW.
How was that WoW movie?
I mean, what's the other live action movie that they're making? Monster Hunter, right?
It wasn't that bad.
I heard it was terrible.
The WoW movie, like, we got the WoW movie, we're getting the Monster Hunter movie coming out, which looks decent. But
does it though?
I'm still scared. I mean, I just don't want it to.
Do we need a Final Fantasy? First of all, I'm not even that far into Final
We don't
Fantasy.
even
I'm
need
not
really.
into Final Fantasy 14, like, to even know that I need this.
I say no.
I just find it weird that they went with Final Fantasy 14.
That's what I'm saying. But, you know, you could do 7, but, I mean, how many Advent Children, you know, movies you need?
No, we're good. We're good on that. We're good on that.
Right. So, like, I mean, you could do 9, no, 10. We don't need Titus Laugh from live action. Like 15. Do you want to watch the Backstreet Boys like chill in their car all day? No.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, a little bit. Give me that.
14 makes the most sense, but I don't know. I'm not into 14 to know anything about what I need or what I need to see. I can't be like, I need to see this and break down what I need to see in the show because I don't know.
They should have done 9.
9.
I love 9 actually.
I would have
Nine's
been
my favorite,
good if
but
they didn't make any
why
of
does
them.
9 need to be in here?
I don't know. I've got no emotional ties to 14. That's
Maybe.
where I'm coming from. Like
Exactly.
I would be more interested in connecting with something that like I know about. So that's just where it draws the line for me.
And they should have got Vivi. They should have got Ryan Reynolds to play Vivi.
Oh god.
And then they should have got Nicolas Cage to
playing
play
Zidane.
who's playing Zidane. Oof.
Exactly. That's tough, isn't it?
Just give me 15 with Keanu Reeves as Noctis. Call it a day. It'd be breathtaking, I promise.
Keanu Reeves is.
Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is Zidane
Why would Chris Pratt be Zidane?
I know.
Like,
because he's an American treasure.
I guess, but you know, shouldn't you have to go kind of younger? Because aren't they younger in this one? Like,
But I couldn't think of any
we need
children.
baby faces, dog.
Oh
We need
wait,
baby
Tom
faces.
Holland.
There you go. Like, think Tom Holland or Andrew
Tom
Garfield
Holland.
or somebody like that.
Well, speaking about Tom Holland, you know what else is swinging? We're going to swing into the next subject. What we got, Chris?
Oh my
Tom
god.
Holland. I don't even know who that is, homie.
It was a
Spider-Man.
perfect transition.
Spider-Man.
Don't mess it up.
Huh?
It was a perfect transition, Chris. You're supposed to take it away. You're supposed to
idea.
swing
Swinging into theaters.
Yeah.
Oh,
The theaters. I mean, that's not on the agenda. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Darn.
You're just supposed to move on to the next one. That's it.
Oh, I
Easy
see.
peasy.
So,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, that does not compute.
Well,
so there's some more odd Pokemon news that came out today.
Give it to me,
there's
please.
all the Pokemon news has been
Thanks,
either good
Chips.
or really weird. Pokemon Masters brings real-time team battles to mobile this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So announced last month for iOS and Android is Dina's Pokemon Masters, as players performing teams of famous Pokemon trainers and their partners for 3-on-3 battles on the artificial island of Paizo.
Oof.
It's not about catching Pokemon. Who needs that for a Pokemon game? It's about catching Pokemon trainers from long-running game series rather than monsters. So player created teams consisting of 2 or 3 will sync pairs to take them into battle. They'll collect badges. And what is this about? That's pretty much like what?
It sounds similar to that Star Wars mobile game where you get teams of 3. You can get Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker and Darth Maul on one team. And what's it called? Star Wars Heroes. This is what that sounds very similar to that. Very similar to that.
How do you feel about this, Dom, as a Pokemon man?
Can I be 100%? Like, this is one of the games I'm actually looking forward to playing on mobile. It still very much interests me. I'm not a Pokemon Go person. It doesn't tickle my fancy, but so far what I'm seeing from...
As I'm literally playing.
From Masters.
I just got my Ultra Balls, dog. Ultra Balls. Yeah, I just got my Ultra Balls, dog.
So far from what I'm seeing from Masters, it looks unique enough to give me something different in the mobile space. I think that we're never going to get a game like we really want on mobile, so this could be something to supplement, and I'm pretty interested in it so far. Plus, I really like the art style. The art style is probably, like, it's super top-notch. I don't know if you guys seen it.
You know, that's really such a true statement that you said is, like, have we ever gotten a game on mobile that we really like or fires on all cylinders? I can't think of one.
You don't like Harry Potter Wizards Unite?
No.
Clash of Clans.
No.
You don't like Wizards Unite?
Harry Potter Go?
You don't like flicking your phone and singing Wingardium Leviosa? You don't like that?
Nah, I'm all right.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
Dude, even look at some of the games that have gotten close, like Elder Scrolls Blades. Like, even that, they monetized to hell, and then they messed up the way you travel in it, so it's all broken. And then Mario Run was maybe the closest thing, but it was an auto runner, and it was very expensive. So it's like, well, I don't think we've gotten that sweet spot for actual gamers, and it's just the things that just fill your time and the gotcha things and things like that. So
since we're on the topic of Pokemon and mobile games, do you guys want to get the recent update in Pokemon Go?
You could talk about it. What is it?
So starting tomorrow, right? Yeah, today's 27. Starting tomorrow at 1 p.m.
I did see that 8-minute trailer, Chips.
For the 3rd year anniversary of Pokemon Go. Can you guys believe it's already been 3 years?
Yeah, way too long.
Yeah, my phone literally just told me this is your 3rd year anniversary. So what?
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing that they're starting tomorrow is they're doing shiny Alolan Pokemon. So you guys have a chance of catching a shiny Rattata, a Sandshrew, which is pretty cool. I'm going to be going for this one, Vulpix, Diglett, Meowth, Geodude, Grimer, and Executor. So you guys have a chance of getting a shiny Alolan form of those Pokemon. I mean, they have some other cool things like the avatar items.
Abaddon, what up?
For the gym leaders. I mean, I really didn't care about the cosmetics. It's more me of just getting the shiny Pokemon. Let me see what else. Oh, Pikachu's coming back with a party hat. So if you take a Go Snap photo, you might have a chance at getting him.
Yo, Chips over there, Squirtle Squad, is just still keeping a squirt all day.
Pichu is also going to have a chance of wearing the party hat. I mean, he'll hatch with it from a 7-kilometer egg. Let's see what else. And then it says from June 28th to September 2nd. Let me see here. So if you have a friend who wants to play but feels like they missed out, you can help them out along the way. Raid bosses and things like that. I mean, the only exciting part was the shiny Alolan Pokemon.
So
everything else is like...
I mean, here's the thing for me is the moment that I heard that potentially some of these Pokemon may not even be transferable per the Dex in Sword and Shield, I immediately stopped playing Pokemon Go and stopped caring. I'll be 100% honest.
Means nothing to me!
Right.
Yeah, one of the only reasons I jumped back into Go was the potential to have shinies to transfer into Sword and Shield, and the fact that some of the ones that maybe the only shinies I have may not even be transferable. I'm just like, I'm not even gonna risk wasting my actual real-time life with this. I'll just wait for Sword and Shield and go from there.
I'm so mad, dude. The Galar Dex just makes me so angry. It's like my blood's boiling right now.
It doesn't make me angry, you know what I mean? That's like not being able to play Marcus Phoenix and then New Gears of War. It's all that is, right? It's just a decision made by the developers to do whatever they're deciding to do with the story they're trying to tell with the Pokemon set they're trying to have. If you're diehard, you won't let it get to you, Codex.
Yeah.
I kind of see both sides of the coin. I think that it would be like a really good thing to give that availability to the Pokemon fans, whether it's XYZ generation you prefer. But I mean, the precedent has already been set that they don't carry over all generations, right? This isn't the first time that's happened. And secondly, I mean, from a realistic standpoint, that is a lot of work.
I also think it will come. It's just not going to be immediate. It's going to be something that progresses over time, and eventually we'll get to the point where you can access all of it. It's just going to take a while. I'd rather them focus on giving me a great freaking top-notch Pokemon experience than patching in 400 Pokemon. Give me half, but give me the best experience I've ever had in a Pokemon world.
It's going to be DLC. At the end. You have to pay for parts of the Galar decks.
That's fine. I mean, take my money, right? Like, where can I put my credit? Can I put my credit card info now?
They're already going to be taking my money with the app that they're going to be doing. I mean, because I know it's not going to be free to have
Pokemon Home.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that this is gonna be free because we were all paying for Pokemon
Bank.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, what the fuck was it called? Bank. I mean, if you give me Pokemon Home, just give me the damn fucking access to Sword and Shield. Let me just put whatever I want in there.
Chip says with the backlash they've been getting, he feels like there's gonna be an update coming either way. I wonder if they're gonna pull the Sonic on it. They're gonna go change the eyeballs and the legs.
I hope so. I mean,
delay the game till February.
Oh, please no.
That would make a lot of people mad.
Oh, I mean, I'd be livid.
Yeah, at that point, just give me the Pokédex later.
Yeah, see now you come.
But I still
on.
want
this
it.
Is fine.
I mean, I still need it.
What I need is the next subject. What's next, Mona?
Swinging into the next topic.
Being a week or two after E3, there's not a ton of game news really, except for little changes here and there to already stuff in rotation. So, moving on to Twitch, actually the platform we're streaming on, one of them right now. Twitch is launching in beta subscriber-only streaming features. So on Twitch, fans can subscribe to their favorite streamers, typically for $4.99 a month. Usually that comes with minor perks like emotes, badges, yada, yada, yada. Previously, no matter how many subscribers are streamed, accrued streams were available to everyone. However, Twitch is soft launching a subscriber stream. If a viewer subscribes to a channel at any tier, including a Twitch Prime subscription, they'll have access to that creator's subscriber streams. If they're not a subscriber and they arrive on the channel that's running a subscriber stream, they'll see a preview of what's going on. And if they'd like, they'll be able to join the party immediately by subscribing, which cost real dollar bills. So far, reactions to this announcement have been mixed. Some are excited. Some are excited about the possibilities of reacting with the community. And then another set of people are seeing this as it's increasingly difficult to make sustainable money. Others, however, worry about what paywalls will mean for loyal viewers who can't always afford to subscribe. So, that's actually kind of a real big deal.
It's kind of, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the idea. You can see more creators doing this anyway. With certain creators will have live streams where they say, well, if you are a subscriber or if you are a Patreon, you can play games with me. We've already seen it.
But that's been optional.
Right, and that's been optional. So this way, it is kind of that is kind of odd, but I also see why they're doing it. It's a feature that YouTube doesn't have. You know what I mean? It's maybe it's a way to get some creators over to Twitch. Here's my subscriber only stream. You know what I mean? Because it seems like they'll be attracting a lot of creators, especially since after what happened at E3.
What needs to be asked and what is unclear is what percentage cut is Twitch taking of that subscriber? Like, how much is the creator actually getting? Because my hot take
depends on the subscriber.
My hot take on it is that they're actually doing this to subsidize declining ad revenue because of ad blockers and whatnot.
That's a possibility. That's a big possibility. I know from experience, I can break it down. a Twitch Prime sub, they take 50%. If I have a real tier 1 sub on Twitch, they take, I can't remember, but it's not 50% though. And the bigger the tier subscriber, the less they take. I know that much.
Okay.
So I don't know. You might be right though.
There's
onto something with
one, right? Like I can look at it. Maybe this is a great way. I think personally, if I was, I'm a nobody, but if I was someone who with clout, I would rather have 100,000 people and X number of people can donate whatever amount of money, and I have those people tuning in for free that can donate to me $1 if that happens, or $0, whatever it is, rather than getting down to 100 users that pay $4.99 and then I have to ostracize the other however many people from ever potentially generating revenue for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure.
I was gonna say, I can already see it now. Like the big streamers, like Leffen and people like that on Twitch, I can see them only doing Twitch like subscriber streams. That's probably all they'll run. So like what's to stop them from doing it? There's nothing really. It just alienates the people that are casual fans.
Right.
That just drives them to people like us that have free streams.
Like I said, it's a big double-edged sword. Like it's like I said, I can see why they're doing it, but I don't see every streamer. I think they'll probably have both. They'll have some streams, they'll have certain streams, but it is odd. You know what I mean? It is odd they come out with this. Were people asking for this? That's one thing. Were people asking for this?
I think that there's another part of it too, is that like I've talked to Dom before, it's like, well, once you get to a certain point, it's frowned upon to simulcast to multiple platforms, right?
Yes.
And,
well, just to Twitch.
Right. So maybe it's a way to also increase that exclusivity. Like you said, YouTube doesn't have it. XYZ, they can offer this platform to make things more exclusive and drive more viewership just towards the one site instead of spreading it over Mixer, spreading it over YouTube, wherever else they're producing content.
Yeah, but I can only see this working for said bigger streamers with clout.
Same.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I can only see this happening for those streamers. I can see a lot of streamers saying, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, they're not going to isolate those who have already become paid. Because what this does is, what if somebody's a Patreon? You know what I mean? What if somebody is supporting you in another way?
They're going to stop
paying. Are you going to, are you going to cut them off for these streams? You know what I mean? And once again, like you said, like how much revenue are they going to take from it?
Yeah.
You know, I'd much rather stream and have somebody support me on Patreon and just stream to everybody versus Twitch subscriber only streams.
Plus, I think Patreon, if you locked into that legacy term of service, has got a better rate. Even it's like way lower percentage. But also, like, if I'm a Patreon and I'm paying your Patreon, do I automatically get a free sub? Like, what? If I'm giving you X number of dollars, I don't know.
Subs are included in that, but not everybody has Prime.
Oh, gotcha.
You know?
And you got to think about it. Bigger streamers are also, a lot of them, such as like Dr. Lupo and Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, a lot of them have actual ads on their Twitch where people like Gillette, Dr. Pepper, all those are paying them to actually have like their stream.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, like, like as far, like Dr. Lupo, he has like a little State Farm thing that randomly pops up and shows a cool play. He just did that stream and then goes away. Like, that's commercials. Like, they're now taking
State Farm replay.
Yes, man. It's a State Farm replay.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like,
if they're taking away that much of their audience, like, I don't see that as like a positive for them, unless they're really just gaining that much off like the subscriber like amount, like you were saying, like how much Twitch decides not to take. But I don't see that benefiting them in any way.
I do. I mean, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think for the bigger streamers, it's just incentivizing people to actually pay that $5 subscription to get into a stream they don't have access to. Some people itch for that stuff to be included.
To get early access.
So I think the people who
But
have...
those people are already subscribers.
Are they, though? They probably not because there's probably people who watch your Dr. Lupo constantly, right? He's just constantly on every time they have a moment to watch their cell phone, their tablet, whatever. And then suddenly they're cut off from something that they potentially really want to see. Now they're spending daddy's $5 on the credit card every month to watch your Mr. Lupo because they want to be included into his streams. I think this is honestly kind of it's I don't want to use the word gross, but I think it's just going to grossly inflate the larger streamers' subscription bases, and
it's gonna drop their viewership though, and it's gonna bring it to people like us.
I disagree.
Viewership? Who needs
I don't disagree, but
it'll drop viewership for sure.
It'll drop viewership, but I think it'll boost their revenue like a lot, and I don't necessarily think that it'll flood people into other people's channels. It might, but they might look elsewhere for stuff.
Yeah, this is sort of classicist. I mean, what about the poverty line people who have a 1 megabit internet connection?
Well, I mean, if you're
now watch the streamers,
if you're a bigger streamer, all you're selling is, here, my content's free 4 days a week, but my 5th day is for my subscribers. You know, when you're able to make that, then you do it.
But it's an option to do that. I can see that as well.
Rex
I think
says
as long as there's a lot of options, it could be implemented well.
Yeah, Rex says that it could be a way to cut down on trolling, because
True.
nobody's going to be
fair.
spending money to troll someone anymore.
I mean, there's a lot of different reasons for it, and there's a lot of different benefits, and like we're gonna have to wait and see, basically, because we don't know how each individual big Twitch streamer is going to react to it. Some are going to take advantage of it for sure, but some of them are going to, I think, implement it wisely, kind of like how you said, where they don't take advantage of it, and they're more so they use it as a way to be like show
engagement,
gratitude towards the people that are subscribed and paying that extra money and getting more customized content, I guess.
Well, we'll say this. I think that if any given one of person on this panel were in, Leffen or whoever's position, I think we would probably utilize a subscription service. Extra revenue in our pocket, regardless of how much money is taken
immediately.
out.
I would definitely utilize it. I just, like I said, like you said, like there's gonna be a line here. Like, am I gonna do? Is every stream gonna be subscriber exclusive, or is it just gonna be like 2 or 3 a week, or weekend streams only, or something like that?
Sub Saturday, sub Sunday.
Yeah, that'll probably more than likely what'll be happening. And if it is something that is like it's subscribers like account based where you can't toggle it on and off, then I could also see people just having duplicate accounts, one for their other streams and one for their sub days.
I'm sure you could toggle it. I'm
hoping they'd be smart enough to do. I'm sure they will, but
yeah, I'm sure it's just a feature.
I think that's why me and Nintendo were so like passionate about it. I think we were just thinking of those big streamers who are going to make it exclusively like that, but I doubt, like you said, that most of them will actually make it like exclusively subscription or subscribers only.
I can see Leffen.
Well,
I brought up Leffen because I swear to God, he'll do it.
Well, I mean, think of what you just said though, because some of these bigger streamers do, like you said, have ads in their streams, and if you make it exclusive, those ads aren't reaching the public. That might have, that can always come down, but they might.
And your sponsors want to reach as many. They don't care about anything other than eyes, literally,
right?
And engagement. So
who knows? But it is a feature that YouTube doesn't have, and I can see YouTube maybe doing something here pretty soon.
Oh yeah, they'll probably. I'm sure everyone will come around to some sort of feature that's similar. But so yeah, I mean, we've talked about the games, we've talked about this, some of the states of the financial situations. But what about the game developers? The last topic I want to talk about is something I read in Time, and I'll keep it brief because it was actually a very long article. I'm sure you guys heard about the recent like Telltale Games fiascos and stuff, and all the claims from some of these developers talking about being overworked, and Rockstar Games pushing people out 90-hour days and all that, or 90-hour weeks and all that. So every game that you like is built on the backs of workers.
Good.
The title of this article,
Jake.
So it's time to production.
So are the pyramids. Keep going.
So this follows Nathan Allen Ortega, who is 34 and thought he found his dream job when Telltale Games offered him a position of a community and video manager in 2015. Just trying to breeze through this excerpt pretty quickly. He worked on like Tales for the Borderlands and a certain other number of titles. But what happens is the executives, whenever developers get a title, they would order up the games, make changes at last minute, sending developers into overdrive, lead to inferior products, and then make Ortega's job of marketing the game even more challenging. Moving on to that, basically the nightmare hours and job uncertainty at Telltale was what he describes as not unique in the industry. Is I think the eye-opening part. According to 10 video game workers who spoke to Time, there's a belief in the games industry that working in it is a privilege and that you should be willing to do whatever it takes to stay there. The most important thing to remember is that it's not every single game studio that functions like this, but it's the vast majority. Moving on to things like Red Dead Redemption 2, where they were pushing 100-hour weeks, or Blizzard Activision, who in February cut 800 jobs as it reported record earnings in 2018. This is moving towards gamers talking about unionizing, which I don't really like unions, but I see why they work sometimes. So maybe they need it.
Now I'm playing.
And then also go to the other end of the spectrum with Animal Crossing and Nintendo saying, you know what, guys, if you need longer, you got it. And being very humane about that. I honestly, this, like, when I read about this stuff in the video game industry, I think about literally like, now maybe not sweatshop tier, but I think about like that sort of, it sounds like almost like a third world industry, and like we're a first world country. Why is this going on, and why is this happening, and why is nobody like on any level? I'm not a bit like, government intervention is not my favorite thing, but how can this happen though at the same time?
Haddad69, what's up? Nintendo, you look like you had a lot to say. Grace us with your knowledge, sir.
Well, here's the deal. This is a topic that I'm passionate about, because I am a member of a union. The industry that I work in is not similar, but the way they're talking about this, like, this is like my world of work, like what I work in. So like for me, I can work anywhere from 40 to 50 hours, depending on that. Before things change, I was working like 60 to 70 hours a week, like 6 days a week and stuff, until the union got involved or whatever. So I, like, for me, this is something that I understand, right? This, from what we're hearing, like, man, it's crazy. But the reason why it's happening is because it's allowed to happen. That the quote that got me was the belief that working in the games industry is a privilege. You don't know how many times in my industry I've heard you working here is a privilege because you get all this privileges, and they hold it over your head as a way to keep coming back over and over and over again. But here's the deal: we're all human. Like, you gotta have a break from work. Like, you have family and kids. Like, you gotta spend time with your family and kids.
Yeah.
But that quote really gets to me, because that's not an excuse to then treat, con or keep somebody or overwork your people. You should feel privileged to be working here. We are Blizzard. We have World of Warcraft. We just made Overwatch. You should be privileged to be working here.
I'm just gonna throw one thing out there too, and I agree with you on everything. First of all, the only reason I don't like unions is because I literally had a personal experience where they harassed my grandfather because he didn't like join in with a walkout or whatever. And they like drove by his house and like soft harassed him. And I just I thought that side of the spectrum is like, they can do really good things, and I acknowledge that. Like, they can make it so that people aren't exploited. But also, if you don't fall in line, then
trust me, I know that half of the union. That's something I don't participate in that part of the union, but I know about that, so I understand.
Yeah,
that part.
Yeah,
I understand that.
I was just on that. But on the subject of the privilege, I think also on some level that people who enter the industry sort of at one point, I mean, think back when you're in high school or XYZ year was, how many people was like, I want to be a game developer. Game developers, so like we bring, or people who are involved with that industry actually hold game developing on a high standard too. So coupled with these companies that also are like, we're Blizzard, you should be privileged to work here. I think these people are more inclined to be like, you know, you're right. Like my dream is to make video games, and like where else am I going to do that other than a prestigious company?
Do you know how much 100 hours a week is?
That's insane.
That's a lot of hours working.
Bro,
in one
that
spot.
is
yeah.
that is four. If you work 5 days a week, that's literally 4 hours of sleep per day.
That's
It's
insane.
nuts. Yeah.
Like,
No thanks.
if you even sleep, if you drive home or if you're sleeping in the office, that's, you know, you drive home at 30
That's
minutes.
on crack and Red Bull.
100-hour week.
Every single people do
where
that.
they were talking about people were working 100-hour weeks to finish Red Dead, you know, which they said that was a one-time thing. That was just
Didn't they sleep
were just
in
trying to get it out. Yeah, like they were doing stuff like that to get
Like
Red Dead out.
nuts.
But and you know, Rockstar, you know, quickly came through, was like, nope, we didn't make them do that. That was all volunteer work. Yada yada yada. We were just excited that they did that.
It wasn't mandatory, but they probably like had enough like leverage to like imply.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
Here's
in office space. I know how it works.
Here's the company
absolutely.
right now
Yeah.
that you don't hear too much about, but I read an article, and right now the company that is overworking their employees in the sleazy work they're doing right now is Epic Games with Fortnite, and the way they're hiring people, and how they are hiring contractors, and if a contractor takes a day off, they don't renew that person's contract. They're making them work 80 hours a week just on Fortnite because of the way the game is. It's so popular. If something's broken, they have to work day and night to make sure it gets fixed, updates, this and that. Just their Fortnite division, like Dauntless, nobody cares. Those dudes only work like you hear that. It's just when you hear these stories, it's crazy, but like you need to think about it. Do we as gamers have a hand in that? Because we as gamers ourselves do have a tendency to, one, complain about a lot of things, two, are very entitled about a lot of things. So we do put the pressure on these companies and these developers to get things done and get it to us fast enough. Like, do we also have a hand in this as well? I'll throw that back
For
at
sure.
everybody else.
Yeah.
How pissed y'all are about Animal Crossing.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't bring that up.
I agree with
Don't
that
make me
because that's the
cry
thing.
again.
Like, the community feedback of the people who are going to purchase this is so scathing anymore that like it's really a challenge to release a game. And I can understand why these companies, I'm not saying it's right, but I can understand why they push so hard.
yeah,
because
I agree.
it's atrocious.
Here's the deal. If you push hard, treat your employees right. That's all I'm saying. Be appreciative of your employees. Don't be like Blizzard where you cut all these jobs while bragging about, look how much money we made. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that stuff. If you are pushing these workers,
Yeah, you better be
like,
taking him out to like a fancy ass vacation retreat.
take care of those employees that did it. You know what I mean? Don't be an EA and just gobble up all their property, cut them, and say we're done with you. Like that's the kind of stuff that makes me mad, you know. And like I said, I'm a union worker. I'm in the industry. Like this irks me so much.
The thing that's so shitty about it, with Blizzard specifically, I remember the day that happened. They announced their Q1 revenue earnings, and the same day announced the layoffs. And officially, no one was ever officially informed until that day. But the rumors were about it. It was known that action was going to be taken for several weeks. And so people were soft prepared in the office, or at least there were rumors going around. But then they laid off, 800 workers. Most of them were like customer service and tertiary, infrastructure. It wasn't like game developers. It wasn't art designers. It was like just people,
So here's my next question to y'all. Do you think a union would work in this industry? Because you do realize when a union gets involved, the union ends up regulating a lot of what can and can't happen, and how the executives then have to proceed in hiring and working hours around. Do you think a union would work in the gaming industry?
I think that unions are good because they allow the workers to band together, and I fully believe that you teach people how to treat you, and if you allow these game companies to bully you into working 100-hour weeks, then they'll do it every day of the week and
All the
twice on
time,
Sunday.
Yeah.
But I also think that a union can bully them back. And the last thing I think any of us want to see is games delayed because of strikes, because the game company's being stubborn, the union won't budge.
That's a very big potential of what can happen, though. If you think about that, like that's what scares me. Like, yo, I'm like, me being a union guy, yeah, let them unionize. Like, I'm a hype about that, but at the same time, I'm like, but in this medium that I love and I partake in, like, the repercussions of these developers unionizing could be it takes longer for games to get put out. You know, there's not that crunch there. It can take longer for games to get put out. Games, you know,
become more expensive.
Could become more expensive. Quality of games could go down because now all of a sudden there's a deadline to reach, but they're not reaching. You know what I mean? Like there's so many pros and cons to this that I don't know how I feel about it. Even though I am in a union, but like I was like,
yeah, I think
also
what is.
I was just gonna say, I think it creates a divide between the company and the developers, like, and the people that are actually working on the game.
I can see
instead
that.
of being part of the company, instead of being part of Epic Games, they're part of their union first.
Yeah.
Epic Games second.
I mean, hopefully what I see happening, or what I hope happens, is maybe unions don't come into play. I'm hoping that these larger companies, because what we continue to hear is like the larger ones, but we don't necessarily hear some of the smaller ones. I think, what was it? Quantic Dream or somebody else was in the news like last year or something about similar things too, besides all their harassment stuff that they had going on. That's a whole nother ball game. But what I'm hoping that happens is some of these companies just take to action all of this feedback and begin to publicize good changes that they're making for employees. So maybe we don't see the bad side of what unions would bring, but maybe we do see good positive changes. But these companies need to be public. They need to have PR teams over it, and that's an okay thing to happen. I think they just need to find that happy medium, instead of making these wholesale changes, because ultimately it will affect small indie developers too, because they're going to have to adhere to certain rules that they honestly can't afford, because it's the median for people's salary and things are going to have to be met, and as a smaller developer taking out a loan from the local Chase, that may not be a possibility to be honest. So I think there's two sides, so I'm hoping that more companies just take to action and other smaller ones follow suit, as opposed to a wholesale change. I think I don't know, we'll see.
And then let me add, like, it's also up to the consumer, us in the community, because once again, like I said, we have the tendency to be the most entitled, complaining, demanding, we want it now, it's my game, I want it now mentality. And that does affect how these developers treat their workers, because in the end we spend the money on this stuff, and in the end we put the pressure on them at the same time.
I paid $60. You should be working 100+ hours a week.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, this is crazy.
RTX Gaming, I agree with you.
I was going to say, another thing is that these companies, they put the pressure on themselves by releasing trailers for games 4 years before they come out.
But you notice something though, like notice how Nintendo's been doing it. They have not put out a trailer unless the game is coming out a year to
Bayonetta 3.
That's the one.
Metroid Prime 4.
Other than that, they learned real quick.
But at the same time, we asked for that from Nintendo. We all bitched and complained. Let us know what other projects are coming out. Don't let us know the game's 6 months. And they did it. And they were like, but why is it not coming out in 6 months to a year?
Exactly.
It's like, I mean, we don't know what we want, so let's just let them make the decisions, and we'll get hype about whatever it is.
Consumers suck. We're the worst.
Like,
we are.
I mean, in some respects, that is actually true, because everybody will be like, "We'll vote with your wallet," or somebody will post but then complain as they also bought the product. So, I mean, ultimately, there is a lot of responsibility. I mean, there's equal parts responsibility. You know, some may be disproportionate, but there's a lot of change that can happen on the production and the consuming side. And I mean, we really can't stand for that because that is so. And I'm not usually like rah, rise up. That's ridiculous. But like 100-hour weeks, man. Like, I don't want that product. And actually, like, I don't think that news came out until after Red Dead was purchased. And honestly, I'm at fault here. I bought the game. I have the game over here, sitting right over here.
It's one of the best-selling games. It's in like 25 million sold. It's crazy.
Really, and that's what I'm saying. I'm taking responsibility that I really actually should not have purchased that. I should not have given them money for voluntary 100-hour weeks because nobody is volunteering. Basically, they want to make sure they have a home to go to.
Pretty much.
Agreed.
So,
just imagine that, bro. Working 20 hours a day.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they weren't probably working 20 hours a day. They probably were working like 7 days a week. Let's be real about that. But still,
yeah.
You just add 2 more days of that. You're okay. So you take, I don't know. That's just ridiculous. That's still 12, 14, 16-hour days.
Even 10-hour days, 7 days a week. That's only 70 hours. I mean, how many more hours do you need in one day?
That's still 15, 14, 16-hour shifts working if you're, daily. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little.
RTX, I'm with you, bro. Me and you both, we can be overpaid union members all together. It is all good.
There we go. Living that good life. Yeah, I mean, overall, I just hope that positive changes come, but ultimately, like the point that I was talking to RTX about is I don't want to see games go north of $60 for a lot of these reasons because that's just going to mean people buying less, which means that there's just going to be less jobs, but people working less hours at those jobs. But there's going to be less of them at the same time. So that's kind of the thing to think of is just how many jobs are available. So it's a crazy subject, but I think our job is just to kind of keep it relevant, keep talking about it. And if we do that, then hopefully the people that, that we have the pleasure of tuning in, hopefully they talk about it and that word of mouth just keeps spreading and people keep it in the mouths of others. That way we kind of like force the bigger companies' hands as this keeps being a recurring topic.
Just want to make one point before we switch off the subject. While we were at E3, we were waiting in line to get in the first day. Some dude walking past us tried to hand us a pamphlet for unionization in like this kind of industry. And Dom literally walked right past and went, "No thanks, I don't care."
Dang, Dom!
I didn't see that.
Bro. Dom.
I went, okay, fine, I'll take a pamphlet. I took a pamphlet because I felt bad. I don't think either of us knew what
and
the guy
what do
was
you oh, I heard him. What'd you do with that pamphlet?
He goes, "Oh, I heard him. Oh, I knew you touched that."
What was that?
I threw it in the trash after I read it. I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
See, I was kind enough to let him know, hey, I'm too busy, buddy. The next guy is going to end up reading it because I'm not going to. That's more powerful than me going, yeah, here it is, throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I would have asked him questions. So what are your plans? How you doing this? Like,
I didn't have time. E3 lines.
Yeah, he probably would have made the man sweat. He's like, this isn't my job. I just need to pass these pamphlets out.
You know what? I was just like, I got to get in line for Luigi's Mansion, bro. I'm sorry. Another time.
RTX, I agree with you. He said something. That's what I was going to say. Because like they're talking to chat about like if the cost of workers go up, then the games will go up. And that really just comes down to the executives at the top, what they want to do with it. They can take less money if they want to. Why
they're not going to take their $2 million bonus a year? What?
Yeah, like.
You honestly think they wouldn't do that?
No, I mean, no, they wouldn't. But like, don't believe the lie. Like, more costs. No. The cost of games don't have to go up. It all depends on the stupid exec.
I don't speak of that because that's how it works. I speak personally on that because companies always pass on any increase onto the consumers, not because it's mandatory, but because that's what they do.
That's what they do, and then they want to put the blame somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like how they always expose, like EA recently, how like their execs when their last CEO or whatever he left, he got some bonus, but he didn't take it, and they exposed that all the execs kind of forfeited last year's bonuses. They always talk about the bonus, but they never talk about their base pay on what any of these execs actually make. They're always like, we forfeited our $1 million bonus a year. Well, what's that base pay looking like though? Because I'm sure it's gone up year over year, right? Because you've been at EA for 9 years.
They forfeited the bonus so that they could bring their like tax bracket down or something. I mean, it's not out of the kindness of their heart. There's a reason why they would forfeit a bonus. It's not.
Was it voluntarily forfeited?
Andrew,
like, really?
Andrew Wilson, CEO at Electronic Arts, made $35 million.
Oh, dude. Oh, that made my stomach turn.
Poor guy. He had to forfeit his bonus.
$35 million in total compensation. So that's including his bonuses and all that stuff. And you mean to tell me that, we got to raise the price of these games because these workers want more. Get out of here.
Oh, it's crazy. That's crazy. That's just, that's gross. Yeah.
On a kind of a shift here before we wrap up, because you were away working, Nintendo. I was just wondering. I know you probably talked about it to death, but like, what was your take on E3 this year? What'd you like? What'd you hate?
Nintendo bodied everybody and let everybody know how E3 needs to be done from here on out until everything changes. Xbox was cool, but they sort of just they announced a lot of games that were third party. They didn't show too much first party games. Decent Flash, but I don't think there was a whole lot of substance there. Ubisoft, trash. Bethesda, okay. Square Enix kind of saved the day there for a minute, and then Nintendo just came in the next day and just blew everybody out of the water. And was like, "This is how you do it." And Nintendo had so much information; I still can't remember everything.
Yeah, Nintendo.
I think that's a pretty honest take on it. Yeah, Nintendo really, there was the only one that had anything of substance, I felt like. I think even given Bethesda okay, one of the publishers I like to see stuff from, but really didn't give like a damn about what they were talking about.
You get a battle royale, okay, Fallout 76, okay, and you're gonna get Doom. Then you're gonna get 2 IPs, but you don't get to know what they're about. And then, hey, Blades is coming to Switch. At least you got that. Oh, and a mobile game and their cloud service. You learned about the cloud too.
That was an advertisement. That was like, somebody else, please buy our cloud service from us. We can make more money. That's all that was.
All that was, boy.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good, honest take. Xbox, Microsoft wasn't crazy good. It wasn't terrible either, but all across the board, like Dom, I think, said previously, it really just felt like an ellipses on next year that was gonna be.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. Like next year's gonna be the lit one.
Not like an exclamation. Except for Nintendo, they exclaimed all over the place.
They were like, guess what? This game comes out today. Oh, this comes out today. Oh, by the way, Animal Crossing is getting delayed, but you're not gonna care. Why? Because Breath of the Wild's being developed. Like they did that. They did the direct right. They literally hit like every point right.
What are we tripping about, Rex? Explain. Go ahead. I'll let you type that up while somebody else is talking.
I think he's talking about Bethesda. Because he said Bethesda, okay, you like the mobile games? Fallout Blood Royale, man, y'all tripping.
Like Shelter and the Tesla. I thought it was going to be Skyrim, I'll be honest, but they went with Fallout Shelter.
I just wanted to see any glimpse of Starfield, and none of that ever happened. So I was like, all right.
RTX says the Nintendo execs deserve a fat pay raise.
Look, man, they already got pay raises. Dog.
Oh yeah, they do.
If there's anything that we need to know about
just
those
because
guys
of the
over
hype,
in Japan,
they got their fucking bonuses.
They're gonna they make some betting.
Oh yeah, out of Newmar, the person behind Zelda just got a promotion too. They announced that right before E3 that he's like some other like director level now. So they're getting paid. They're making that money.
And Bowser, we just saw Bowser.
Oh yeah,
I saw Bowser twice. Me and Dom almost saw this girl get her head chopped off. Trying to run.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Do what?
He's got these 2 huge ass bodyguards right next to him, and this chick sees Doug Bowser,
and she's like 4'11", by the way.
Yeah, she's like honestly he's not exaggerating. She's like legit 4'11". She charges at Doug, and I'm like,
Doug Bowser or the girl?
The girl.
The girl took off to Bowser.
And the security guards were like, whoa. Like, they were ready to take it out.
Clothesline. Yeah, they're like, no.
First of all, I'm going to be real with you. I wouldn't even recognize Doug Bowser. Like, I saw some pictures, and I still didn't recognize him whenever he came out.
You do.
In the direct.
And you just know it's him. It's like weird.
I mean, when people walk around with bodyguards, you're like, wait, who is he again?
I just wish his bodyguards were like Koopas.
They were, bro. They wore the shells. It was
That
really
would have been dope.
So, I think that's a good spot to end off. Before we do, I know Nintendo, we didn't ask you when we started. Have you been playing anything this week, and are you excited for Mario Maker 2 tomorrow?
Have I been playing anything this week? Not this week. I decided to work double time on some music this week, so I'm kind of into that. So I've been doing that.
What's cooking? Can you reveal?
Any release date?
Is he dropping an album?
Well, no, I'm not dropping an album. But a songs come out every Monday. There might be another song that come out this week.
Ooh.
So there might be 2 instead of 1. And just been going deep into it. One is going to be an anime song. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, and one is going to be Donkey Kong Country Sticker Bush Symphony. I'll tell you that one.
Ooh, all right.
All right.
But yeah, I've been doing that.
That's awesome.
Are you excited for Mario Maker though tomorrow?
Am I excited for Mario Maker?
Rack says hell yeah.
I am going to play it. I am. I don't know if I'm like super excited, but yes, I will play it and enjoy it. Okay. But I was not like a big of like Mario Maker. I wasn't that guy.
Yes,
Same.
I don't need it.
I don't know why I'm so excited, but I just am.
You've been talking about, this is going to be the game I stream forever. Let Mario Maker come out, and I'm about to light this channel on fire.
You better stream tomorrow.
I just love it, man. Smash Bros. Still, I freaking love that game. They just have some bangers, you know?
Well, you're going to have 100 levels, 100 bangers in there.
Like, yeah, that's my thing. I'm not a big level creator kind of guy. So, like, for me, I would only just be playing creative
Other
levels.
people's?
Like,
Yeah.
that's it. And, that's cool.
RTX says, I can't wait to get destroyed by somebody's level.
See, that's
gonna happen.
I'm a big rager, and that's the only reason why I would do it is just to stream me raging. That's it. I'm a big rager, like when it comes to that stuff. Like people making these impossible levels.
Don't give Dom ideas. He's just gonna be like, hand me the remote. He's like, here you go, because I get pissed so quick.
I don't think I've ever got mad playing a video game, bro. They're just to have fun, you know.
I get mad, bro. I'm sorry. I'm competitive. That's just me. That's just how I am.
Didn't you just talk about Codex? Didn't you just talk about at E3 how you're getting so fucking pissed in Overwatch that you like almost chucked your controller?
I mean, he just got done playing the game right now, and his green screen didn't have wrinkles, and it does now. So I mean, that happened quick.
I broke my headset on accident the other day.
On accident?
On accident.
On accident.
While rage.
On accident.
Yeah.
I was a little mad.
I never.
I have
rage.
broken.
Yeah, quit. Yeah.
Hello, can anybody see?
I can hear. Did you eat your Joy-Con?
Again.
Did you take a bite out of the Joy-Con?
Hold on.
Oh,
what's going on here?
He's having technical difficulties. We see him perfectly on our side.
I have no clue what's going on, guys. I can hear you guys kind of. Everything's going crazy.
Well, your audio and video are perfect on our side.
Everybody is robotic bad. I heard that though. Your audio and video is perfect on our side. I heard that part.
Good. All right. So on that note, as he has technical issues, I'll take us out. So if he comes back, we'll let him finish his thought about eating Joy-Cons.
Be right back.
So on that note, I'll start taking us out. Thank you everybody for joining LootCast episode 4. It's been an amazing episode with you guys at home. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love all you guys. Thank you for being an awesome part of this community. And we will start with our outros. Mono, Pauls, tell everybody where they can find you and what they can expect from any content you may have coming from here onto the future.
It could be on Twitter, on Mixer, on YouTube, on Twitch, and content is going to be love it or hate it. I'm going to start streaming some flight sims consistently, and I will start doing other games as well. But I'm gonna be playing some flight sims, having fun.
Awesome. Well, make sure to drop your link in the chat so everybody can find you. And if you guys want to see somebody who's at a pro level flight sim playing, make sure you guys check out his channel because that's some unique content you just don't find every day.
It's not just like flying from like St. Louis to Missouri. It's combat flight sim, World War II jets, that kind of stuff.
Hey, we don't judge. If you want to take us from St. Louis to Missouri, we'll go with you.
That's boring. I don't like that stuff.
Cool. Mr. Jakin, what do you have coming to your channel? Where can people find you?
You can find me right here on YouTube, Pro Jakin. do live streams and some other stuff. I got something cooking up this weekend that I think is going to be a lot of fun. Keep an eye out. All right.
100%. Make sure you guys, keep an eye out and go subscribe to Jake if you guys haven't already. Show him some love. YouTube.com/projakin, right?
Yes, unfortunately.
Beautiful. And Mr. Codex, what you got, man?
Oh wait, hold on.
Yes.
The man is back.
You back?
I made it.
All right. Where can we find you, brother?
Where can you find me? Nintendo Direct, YouTube. Well, Twitter Nick is at Nintendo Direct, YouTube.com/Nintendo Direct, and YouTube.com/Studio Nintendo. All just look up Nintendo. You'll find me somewhere. Hopefully.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, you want to tell a story about, I don't know, raging on a Joy-Con? What you got? What was this rager story? Take us out on this raging story.
What you mean raging story? What are we talking about?
You were about to say something about your Joy-Con, and then your shit flipped out.
Oh, like I was my Joy-Cons. I was just talking about the many times I've just destroyed my Xbox controller. But it's nothing crazy. I've literally have like 8 Xbox controllers in this house, and 3 of which have been broken due to my damage of playing games and dropping controllers. And I don't really like. Here's the deal: I don't really rage. Like I don't like when I play. I don't like be like, oh, I don't drop it. I don't throw it. I literally just drop the controller. Like, can't believe that just happened. And then like from the many drops, my controller just breaks.
So what you're saying is for Christmas you request an 8x6 plushy carpet to be sent to your house.
Something because all I do is
like,
I'll be playing. This is my phone. I got a case on. I'll be playing and like somehow I just go like that. It just drop it. Wait, that's how.
And then the RB button falls out.
And an RB button on my lunar white Xbox controller pops out.
You should wrap your desk in like styrofoam or something.
I should.
Well, on that note, we will wrap up. Speaking about wrapping, and thank you everybody for joining the episode. Thank you, Brian, Rax, Chips, Steve, everybody for coming in and showing us love. Thank you to the panel for another beautiful week and another beautiful episode. Make sure you guys catch us next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and we hope to see you there. From the Game Looters here, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and if you could share it, that'd be awesome too. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
This stream is a loving memory of the Etika.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.